Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers discover great new indie authors. Find us on any major podcast system, Amazon TV, and YouTube. Join Mel Greenberg for today's show.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Indie Beacon Show. I'm Mel Greenberg, and I'm your host this evening. I'm really excited, first, to be able to have this opportunity to talk with the incredible talent that's out there. Indie authors are just a magnificent group, and we're thrilled to be able to have this platform for y'all to come on and share your work and your stories. And tonight, I have a fabulous guest, and I really can't wait for you to meet her and get to know Beaumont, Texas. What, you're from there? I don't know. Still there?
Yes.
Still there. This is Balinda Cooper. Welcome.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
How are you tonight?
So excited to be here. This is my first professional interview, so I'm kind of nervous, but
oh, don't be. This is no, you're awesome. Your story is going to tell itself, and you just be you, and that's what will resonate with everyone. And I think I would like actually to have you introduce yourself to our viewers. Tell us a little bit about your background. I know in 1990 you were called to the ministry, and that's an incredible calling, if you will, when you get that voice that tells you and kind of guides you your way, because we all have gotten it in different ways throughout our lives. And it's a profound story that I think everyone will be really intrigued with.
Oh, yes. 1990, I was raised Catholic, and I didn't understand what the call meant until I got the call. I was just green about ministry in general. I went to church on a regular basis, born and raised Catholic. You go, you do this, you kneel, and you do all of that. And then one day I just heard the Lord's voice audibly, and I was kind of like stunned, but he's told me that I was called to come up a little higher. And and he said it'll be the Marine branch. And I didn't understand none of it. So I started researching all of that, which is a tough branch. Okay. But I was ready. And it took me such, with my husband, it was such a almost great divide. My husband was looking at me like, okay, what happened to my wife?
Is your husband also Catholic?
No, he was Baptist.
So not that far of a stretch.
Yes, but it's like we knew the Lord, but neither one of us were in ministry at the time. So it was almost like a 360 for me, Pentecostal wise. You just go all the way left, and I know I can't do this, no, I can't do that. But then the Lord kind of softened me up so I could meet in the middle with my husband. And now today he is in the ministry as well.
Wow. That's fabulous. Do you have children?
I do. I have 3 children. They are Kyra. She's my youngest. She's in the Navy. Always praying for her and the nation and the country. She's in Japan. I have a middle one that is Kayla, and she's here with my 2 grandbabies. She lives here in Beaumont, and I have my son, Kevin. It's Kevin, Kayla, and Kyra. They're all here in Beaumont, and he has 1 daughter, and her name is Anaya.
Oh, beautiful. So I kind of want you to, eventually we'll circle back, because I think that calling and you're listening and you're being open to change in your life is also what drew you to write this book. And that's something that inside of them, but how does that come to be? Like, what makes you take that step then to write a book? And I'm really anxious to hear how you went from your you're getting involved in the ministry, and what were your steps to, first of all, let me ask you this. Was writing a book something you'd always dreamt of, as it is for so many authors?
No,
No, not at all.
not at all. I'm a teacher, in the ministry, not professionally. Everybody, from a young person, they always thought I was the teacher. Like, are you the teacher? No, I'm not the teacher. I don't know why, but I am called to teach in the ministry. So the book is more or less of a teaching resource tool that can help so many people in different ways. And when I was writing, it all came about, of course, again, from the Lord speaking to me. But more importantly, I was feeling some kind of way in the ministry. You have that relationship with God. Not every day gonna be sunny. So the Lord was just questioning me, have you taken your meds? And I was like, Lord, like, I'm not sick. I'm really not sick right now. What do you mean? So he knows me. I'm an acronym person. So I kept pondering about M.E.D.s, and it's more I pulled on him. I eventually got the M, which is to meditate, and then the E, examine, and then the D, declare his word, and then the S, spiritually dominate my flesh. And so that's the question. Have you taken your meds today? And so if I had, I wouldn't be feeling that way. I wouldn't be acting the way I was acting. And not that toward anybody, but he just recognized that we're not ourselves and we're carrying something that shouldn't be on us.
Fabulous. How long did it take you to write from beginning to end?
Well, it took about, I want to say 9 months. Exactly. Yeah, because I'm a full-time worker and, you got all this other stuff on your plate. So you just carve out little pieces of time to write. And it didn't have to be perfect. You just need to get it out, right? And sometimes the Lord will give you stuff in the middle of the night and you just write it down. You might be scribbling, but then you pull it all together. I had some help with a young lady that's in our organization. She was very kind and she said, look, let's get this done. She's on her 3rd or 4th book, So she said, it just takes 25 pages to make a book. I said, oh, I have more than 25 pages. I think I have a little bit more than that. But this particular one came from a lesson that I did in prison ministry. And then he just expounded on it. So broke it down a little bit more and made it more personal. So it's not a book that you would give away. It's a journaling and just to self-reflect and just make sure you check in yourself. It's all about you this time.
So it's actually a little bit of a workbook as well as a guide, a guidebook for the reader.
For you, yes, yeah. For you. He doesn't want you to focus on anybody else. It's just a self-examination of your heart, matters of the heart. So we can fool a lot of people, and we do,
Every day.
But we put on our smile when we might be frowning inside, just being realistic. You might not be having a good day and you just really down in the dumps on the inside, and you cover it up or you mask it with probably lashing out at someone or, just not being yourself. And it just reminds me of that commercial. Have you had your Snickers today?
Have you taken your meds today?
Yeah.
It's so simple and yet so layered, and we're really excited to keep talking about this. You kind of said, and I'm going to come back to this after we take our upcoming break, that you said 9 months almost apologetically, as though that were a long time, and that's nothing in the grand scope of book writing. That ain't much. So, I mean, that's
Okay.
amazing that the concept and the clarity came to you with truly with such ease. I commend that, and that you just sat down and got to it.
Yes, well, it was definitely easy for me to write because it came from lessons that I have wrote before. Like in the prison ministry, I've been behind those walls for 20 years, and we teach on faith, we teach on joy, love, peace, all these different subjects. But the nurses used to come in all the time and ask if any of the ladies in there had their meds. And so I did a lesson on it, and they enjoyed it, and they just like, oh my gosh, this is so revelatory, and it just helped them more. And each lesson helps me as much as it helps the ladies inside.
Of course. Balinda, I want to really dig into your work in the prison and how that helped and kind of facilitate your bringing forth this story. We're going to take a quick break to take care of all our sponsors. We will be right back. I'm Mel Greenberg here tonight with Balinda Cooper, and you are watching the Indie Beacon Show.
Authors Marketing Guild, a membership-owned company where authors can learn how to better market and sell their books. Join us at authorsmarketingguild.com.
What would you do if you had to put your life on hold to care for a loved one? Well, during COVID, almost all of us have been doing just that. I'm Charlotte Canyon, award-winning author, actress, and speaker. And my book, You Have to Laugh to Keep from Crying, shows you how you can revive, thrive, and survive with 4 golden rules. You have to love one another. You have to respect one another. You have to have patience with one another. And most of all, you've got to forgive one another. I'm Charlotte Canyon, and I approve this message.
Publishing marketing package for authors. A $1,500 value, save 40% now. Includes a 6-piece marketing kit of 250 bookmarks, 250 business cards, 250 postcards, 1 table banner, 1 table runner, and 50 download cards, plus book cover design, ebook creation, PDF setups, upload jingle, spark, scroll placement, video commercial, and interview on M.E.D.s, plus much more. Email bourgeoismedia@look.com for details or bourgeoismedia.com.
To embrace your children's imagination, check out Diane Floyd Bame's books for kids. There's The Moonling Adventures, all about the animals in the Serengeti. And then there's Harry the Camel, learning to love yourself just the way you are. Then The Little Girl in the Moon. There's one about friendship, another one about the big ideas, which is an inspirational story. And then Tour Tycho Town, right there in Tycho Crater on the moon. All of Diane Floyd Bame's books are available at B4R Store.
Do you send book sales to a company that takes most of your money? Do you want a bookstore that supports you? Want to earn more money from your book sales? Introducing a bookstore for indie authors and small press only. Earn up to 80% of your book sales and learn how to better market yourself. Join the 150 authors already signed up to earn their fair share at b4r.store. Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers discover great new indie authors. Find us on any major podcast system, Amazon TV, and YouTube. Join Mel Greenberg for today's show.
Welcome back, everybody. You are here watching another episode of the Indie Beacon Show. I'm Mel Greenberg, here tonight with Balinda Cooper from Beaumont, Texas, and her book M.E.D.s, which as we've heard, the history of it and how it came to be and her story of writing it is so interesting. And you touched on this earlier, and I kind of want to really delve a bit deeper into your work in the prison. Because I have a feeling that played a much bigger part than certainly a little blurb on the back of the book can tell about, and those experiences that guided you. And I think that our watch viewers would really like to understand that journey a little better.
Okay, yes, the prison ministry. I did not choose to go in that that route. A friend of mine actually invited me. She said, "Why don't you just come in and just sit down because I need somebody to come in with me and just be a part of the class because the regular lady wasn't able to come." So I said, "Sure." At that time, I was just figuring out, asking the Lord, what should I do? Where you want me? And we definitely clicked once I got behind the doors. And a lot of people have that anxiety about hearing the doors shut, it's these prison doors and stuff. But I honestly did not hear it
Was that
at
scary?
all.
It wasn't scary to you?
It was not scary
It
at
wasn't
all.
scary to you?
No, I come to find out that's where my anointing is, which is teaching, and encouraging. And I say, well, I really question, why there? And the Lord just really spoke to me again and say, because people need encouraging everywhere. It doesn't matter where they are, so
What kind of prison was it?
it's the
Was it like
women's
white collar prison or?
it's
or
the county jail.
okay.
And
So-
most of the ladies there will be 30 to 60 to 90, maybe 90 days. And so
Okay.
we would, just come in. We come in at the first of the month and at the end of the month. And so they were super excited and to see us because I really, really started enjoying encouraging the ladies. And then the reward is when they get out and they recognize you and they just say, "Oh, I remember you." And that is the key, words. I remember you.
Yeah, well, to know, especially from your background, to know that you touched another life in that way had to be profound.
Yes, I love to see them, and they would be like in different restaurants or something that I'm eating at, and they just say, "You remember me?" Now, at one point, I'm like, after you teach so many classes, and each class would hold maybe like 25 ladies at a time. So over the scope of years, just imagine, I couldn't remember everyone. The faces weren't clear, but definitely when they say those words, they remember me. So that's the more important thing. Did something stick? But I kept seeing a revolving door. Now that was the issue to me because I'm like, okay, what's not happening after you get out? Why are you coming back in? And then acting like we're old buddies, old pals. Did I not say something to make you change, So but it's I come to find out it's a choice. Some people are very comfortable inside the prison. And so there's no responsibilities. You have a bed, meals, and meds.
Well, maybe boundaries and that they didn't have in their life outside, and a safety net almost.
Correct. Right. When they get out, what are they getting out to?
Yeah.
Are they going back into the same environment, which will send them back into the same environment?
Right.
And so we're talking about breaking recidivism, right? So I began working with the county sheriff, which is Zena Stevens in our county. And we're collaborating, trying to maybe do a transitional housing that's faith-based instead of state-based, because something is broken, and I don't know what it is, but I tell you what, we're going to see these ladies to success with the mentoring, holding their hands, truly not letting them go until we know that they've made it. So that's my heart for the next thing in life.
And I sense another book coming out of that, perhaps.
Yes.
So how did your work there and the messages and the light you have been given prior to that with meds come into fruition?
Well, I knew I had to get this word out, not only to for myself, but the Lord said it's just so many people who are on medication and not meditation. And so I was like, you know, who am I? They're gonna listen to me. I feel like Moses or somebody, But
Give me a bush.
but the more he begins to talk, and it was his words, it's not my words. And he reminded me, they're not gonna listen to you, they'll listen to me, So most of the book is scripture based, and I have just a little bit of me in there for a reference. But he really wants to get people off the medication. And not to say that you might start on it, but his word can truly heal you faster than medication can.
And the meditation aspect of the meds, how is that? Describe how you put that
Okay. Meditation is meditating on his word through the word of God in the Bible. Proverbs 18:21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. So we can speak death or we can speak life according to his word. And it's over and over, he wants us to speak life. I don't care what you've heard. You might get a bad report, but let me tell you what I say about it. And then whose report you're going to believe, right? So it's going to be the report of the Lord. That's what I choose to believe. Okay. And so we get bad news all the time. We get situations that come up all the time, but you have the power within your tongue to change this atmosphere, change the situation, change whatever negative report you don't receive. You can have the final say so on what you believe.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that especially after the past year that we've been through, we've all had to look for a way to find silver linings and some positivity in what is thrown at us over which we have no control. So I think the messaging of this book is profoundly timed. And we're going to talk more about that after we take a quick break. You're listening, you're watching the Indie Beacon Show. I'm Mel Greenberg with our guest tonight, Balinda Cooper. We'll be right back.
Authors Marketing Guild, a membership-owned company where authors can learn how to better market and sell their books. Join us at authorsmarketingguild.com. Marianne Fairmouth is a career consultant with 30 years experience in the national recruiting world, a multi-award-winning author in multi-genres, and a speaker that gives presentations to help you succeed. Her book, Revolutionary Recruiting, made the top 20 global list of recruiting books. Find her on Amazon, your favorite bookstore, or at fairmouth.com. Lone Star Festival, where Texas authors, artists, and creatives come together for a Texas-sized event. Join us on May 29, 2021 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Seguin Coliseum, Seguin, Texas. Free for everyone. Produced by Texas Authors Institute of History. Sponsored by B4R.store, Authors Marketing Guild, and the City of Seguin. More information at lonestar.bookfestival.network.
Hi, I'm Rox Berkey. I write the Enigma series with my co-author. We write as Brakefield and Berkey. Today we have 12 books in this series, with The Enigma Threat being the newest release on January the 8th of 2021. It's an exciting book that goes to the next generation, and we hope that you'll check it out and all the other books in the Enigma series. Thank you.
Lone Star Festival, a Texas-sized event. Meet authors, artists, and Texas musicians in the city of Seguin on May 29, 2021. Sponsored by Real Seguin, Coffee Shop, Authors Marketing Guild, B4R.store, and Dear Texas. Produced by Texas Authors Institute of History. Join us and get your free tickets online at lonestar.book. Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers discover great new indie authors. Find us on any major podcast system, Amazon TV, and YouTube. Join Mel Greenberg from today's show.
Welcome back to the Indie Beacon Show. I'm Mel Greenberg. I'm here tonight with Balinda Cooper. We're talking about meds. And no, we're not talking about the vaccine and pharmaceuticals. This is Balinda's exploration of alternative self-care and her book through her writings and her ministry. And Balinda, I want to ask you, when you sat down, you wrote, you said 9 months, which again is not a very long time in the capsule of book writing or life. And you finished, you were done with the first draft and you decided to get this published. Tell us what you meant and getting it out to the world.
Well, I didn't really know. Like I said, I had a friend, all the writings were done and everything. It's like, I was thought about, 9 months. It takes 9 months to have a baby. And so this was my baby. So I had to push it out. And so when it came out and, got the illustration, everything that's done, a friend of mine, Shelly, she actually helped me to navigate the process of getting it on Amazon, in an Amazon platform. And then, of course, you had your editor and all of that stuff that came with it, the little things you have to do. But she was instrumental in making sure that the everything lined up correctly and everything. So she really actually helped me to move it along. But more importantly, now that one is done, I can just help somebody else along the way. I'm not interested in making money off of coaching, but just helping somebody else get their story out, because your story is going to give God glory. And that's the way I look at it all the time.
Yeah, there's that saying, everybody has a story to tell. And whatever that is, if you are compelled to do so, do it, write it. And it takes a lot of courage, and you jumped in and did that. Especially, I'm always intrigued because that wasn't your mission. Like, you didn't always want to dream. I've been a writer my whole life.
No.
That was always kind of a thing. And it's fascinating and encouraging, because with everything, especially with independent publishing now, there are so many beautiful opportunities to get work out there, and voices heard that otherwise would not have that opportunity. And you've done that here. And I think you just said it's on Amazon. Where else can we find your book?
Well, I am just getting started with all of this, and it's new to me. I don't have all the setup, the social media platform and all that stuff. I look at it, like I said, this is my ministry. I have all this other stuff in the background going on. I really need help in pushing my book. But before pre-pandemic, I did attend some live vendor events where I did sell quite a few books ahead of time. And then now that we're on pandemic time, downtime, that's downtime for me. I'm really resonating and working on my second one. So
But you do have a website, correct?
I have my organization's website.
Tell everybody that website, because they can find you and learn more about you.
Okay. It is Texas Christian Professional Women Network, and it's www.texascprowomen.net. And that's our organization, and it tells you a little bit more about me and the organization. And then all about the ladies that's involved. But more importantly, we want to help women get their books out. We do. So just like Shelley helped me, she's willing to help anybody. So
You have a great network around you to continue support, but you need to be on social media. So I'm going to circle back to your Catholic upbringing. Imagine the nun with the ruler in class smacking you. Get on social media. It will help you, and it's a great vehicle for you.
I know it is. I'm gonna try to pull my daughter, the one that's in her 30s, to kind of help me get that going.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you're in the right place here. You know, the Authors Marketing Guild is a tremendous resource, and you're right in Texas. There are so many beautiful opportunities for you there, especially once things start opening up. So, Balinda, I want to thank you so much for your time and your vulnerability and willingness to share your story with everybody, and your coming success. I think this is going to really resonate, especially again during these times that are challenging on so many levels. And I'm really proud of you. I'm really happy to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. I am so excited, and I hope everybody continue to take their meds.
Take them. All right. Thank you so much for stopping in tonight. This is the Indie Beacon Show. I'm Mel Greenberg. Until next time, ciao.
Thank you for watching the Indie Beacon Show. It is produced by B.L. Bourgeois for Authors Marketing Guild, copyright 2021. Voiceover by Randy James and B.L. Bourgeois. To be a sponsor of this show or for more information, please email us at info@authorsmarketingguild.com. To be interviewed for this show, please complete the form at radio.authorsmarketingguild.com. Music by Always Rejoice by Ramcord.